Hi there, and welcome to the ITONICS Academy. I'm Rousseau, and in this course, we're diving into the 6 stages of new product development. This course is designed for product managers, developers, innovation leads, and strategy professionals who want to improve how new ideas move from concept to launch. Whether you're building your first structured approach or refining a mature process, this session will give you a practical guidance, frameworks, and examples you can apply right away. We'll walk through each of the 6 classic stages of new product development, explore best practices for managing product portfolios, and highlight common pitfalls as well as success stories from industry leaders. So, let's start with a reality check. According to McKinsey, 50% of new product launches fail to hit their targets, despite the fact that companies now spend over $1.5 trillion annually on R&D, more than the GDP of Canada. And the issue usually isn't a lack of ideas or investment. It most often comes down to a lack of structure, focus, and alignment. That's why structure in product development is so critical. Structure doesn't necessarily add red tape or slow things down. It can increase the odds that innovation pays off, reducing risk, keeping resources focused, and making sure customer needs stay at the center of decisions. Research shows that companies with a systematic development process not only reduce risk, but also bring products to market faster and at higher margins. That's why most leading firms rely on a stage-based approach. That brings us to the 6 stages of new product development. This framework has been refined across industries to take ideas from exploration all the way to market launch, with a disciplined but flexible approach. So, let's walk through each stage, starting with the first one, opportunity exploration. This step is often overlooked, but it's where success or failure begins. It's the stage in which you spot and frame opportunities before you generate ideas. Too often, teams rush ahead without this groundwork. McKinsey found that over 40% of companies don't even talk to end users during development, a blind spot that often leads to products missing the mark. Opportunity exploration means scanning outward and inward. Outward, it's about spotting signals in consumer trends, competitor moves, emerging technologies, or regulatory shifts. Inward, it's about mapping your own strengths and constraints, where you can build momentum and where gaps may hold you back. The goal is to build an evidence base for innovation so that when idea generation begins, it's anchored in real opportunities rather than guesswork. Companies that do this well avoid chasing shiny objects. Instead, they identify opportunities that are real, winnable, and worth the effort. The same 3 questions Harvard Business Review framed in its classic test. Is it real? Can we win? Is it worth doing? Take Crocs as an example. By the late 2010s, the brand looked like a relic, mocked for its design and losing relevance. But Crocs spotted a very real cultural shift. Gen Z and young consumers embracing irony, memes, and self-expression through fashion. They judged it winnable by leaning into their strengths, comfort, bold colors, and charms for customization. And it proved worth doing. Collaborations with Balenciaga, Post Malone, and others helped Crocs triple revenue by 200% in the space of just 5 years. The opportunity wasn't more serious footwear, it was reframing Crocs as a playful cultural platform. The lesson here is that opportunity exploration isn't about chasing every new trend. It's about framing where you have the right to play and where playing will actually pay off. Crocs didn't just brainstorm their way into a comeback. They first identified the cultural opening that gave their ideas traction. 2. Idea generation. Once you've defined that opportunity space, then it's time to move to the second stage, idea generation. This is where you translate those framed opportunities into concrete concepts. And just like exploration, it works best when it's structured so that you end up with a pipeline of ideas that are both creative and strategically relevant. You want to cast the net wide enough to invite breakthrough thinking, but with clear criteria to ensure ideas align with real opportunities. Otherwise, you risk the so-called innovation theater. Lots of activity, little impact. There's no single best method for idea generation, but the key is to give creativity some structure. Classic techniques like brainstorming or brainwriting work best when guided by prompts. You can also widen your perspective through co-creation, whether with cross-functional teams or external partners. And your starting point can vary. Customer jobs, pain points, or emerging trends and signals can each spark very different directions. And if you want to go deeper into choosing the right method, check out our Ideation Essentials course right here in the ITONICS Academy. However you generate ideas, the real discipline comes in what happens next. Diverge, converge, prioritized. First, you diverge, opening the funnel wide to explore as many options as possible. Then you converge, clustering and shaping those ideas into clearer directions. Finally, you prioritize, applying criteria to focus on the few that are both creative and feasible. Handled in this way, idea generation doesn't just produce a wall of sticky notes. It creates a shortlist of strong candidates ready to be developed into real concepts. And that brings us to the third stage in new product development, concept development. This is where raw ideas turn into testable, tangible concepts, something clear enough that others can react to, critique, and improve. At this point, it's not about perfecting the solution, it's about adding enough shape to answer three things. What is it? Who is it for? And why does it matter? That usually means sketching early value propositions, building simple prototypes, or running quick concept sprints to bring the idea to life. Amazon is famous for using a working backwards method at this stage. Teams draft an internal press release and FAQ for a product that doesn't exist yet. If the imagined announcement isn't compelling enough to excite customers and executives on paper, the concept doesn't move forward. It's a simple way to force clarity on the value proposition before investing in heavy development. Consumer good companies often use a similar approach, but through rapid prototyping. For example, when Procter & Gamble tests new product ideas, they'll often build low-fidelity mock-ups or even simulate packaging on a shelf to see if consumers grasp the concept instantly. The goal isn't a perfect prototype, but quick evidence on whether the value proposition connects. Whichever technique you use, the goal is the same. Add just enough detail for teams to compare options, stakeholders to weigh trade-offs, and customers to give meaningful first reactions. And this is usually where iteration begins in earnest. Very few concepts land perfectly on the first try, so teams cycle through shaping and refining ideas until a direction emerges that has the strength and clarity to move into validation. This is where you start testing those assumptions against the real world. If concept development is about shaping ideas, validation is about pressure testing them. This stage asks, does the idea actually work outside the room? Do customers want it? Will they pay for it? Teams can use several complementary approaches to answer these questions. Customer interviews and expert reviews add depth by uncovering the why behind customer behavior. It can also surface hidden risks. Market tests or pilot launches show how ideas or people behave in more realistic contexts. And experiments add rigor by putting assumptions into measurable, testable form. In practice, much of validation work comes down to experiments, structured tests that reveal whether an idea truly holds up. Broadly, these fall into 4 categories. Discovery tests, such as fake doors or landing pages, quickly signal whether anyone cares before you build. Prototype tests put mock-ups or simple concepts in front of people to check usability and desirability. Functional tests and MVPs go further, releasing the smallest version possible, sometimes even with a Wizard of Oz setup, to see if the solution actually works. And finally, engagement tests, like A/B tests or feature flags to fine-tune adoption and retention. For any of these experiments to deliver real learning, you need a clear hypothesis. Here's one useful way to frame it. If we do X, then Y will happen because we believe Z, and we'll consider it validated if we observe a measurable outcome. This forces a direct link between action, belief, and evidence. For example, if we cut sign-up steps from 4 to 2, more users should complete onboarding because shorter forms, lower friction, and success looks like a 15% boost in completion. Or if we redesign cleaner packaging with a built-in dosing cap, people will perceive it as easier to use because visible convenience encourages trial. And if test score sales jump 10%, we'll know it worked. Alongside customer validation, this is also the point where you test the business model. Pricing, revenue logic, and delivery need validation just as much as product features. An idea that delights customers but can't sustain margins or scale operations is not a real opportunity. By running lean business experiments, like willingness to pay tests or small-scale pilots with real pricing, teams ensure that commercial viability is built in from the start. Validation is the checkpoint where assumptions become evidence, turning concepts into proven opportunities. It gives teams the confidence to move forward, pivot, or stop. It sets the stage for development, turning a promising concept into something that can actually be built, launched, and scaled. This is where the focus shifts from testing if something should exist to figuring out how it can exist reliably with a degree of quality and at scale. In practice, that means that engineering, design, operations, and marketing teams all step in. It's about translating assumptions into technical specifications, building prototypes into production-ready solutions, and aligning the business model with delivery. A few frameworks are especially useful here. Agile and iterative development, where teams work in short sprints, testing features and reducing risk step by step, rather than betting everything on a big launch. Stage gate models, which ensure that before moving from lab to pilot to full rollout, each product must pass clear commercial, technical, and operational criteria. And portfolio road mapping, which many ITONICS clients often use to align development timelines with strategy, dependencies, and resource constraints. And we've seen this in action. In the Innovation Rockstars podcast, Cargill's VP of R&D, Cordell Hardy, described how his teams use agile principles in R&D. They embrace small, testable increments and customer co-creation to accelerate time to market while reducing the cost of failed projects. Similarly, Bosch, one of ITONICS' long-standing clients, uses digital road mapping to coordinate development across business units, ensuring that new products don't just get built, but are delivered at the right time and with the right strategic fit. The development stage is also where iteration continues. Insights from validation often flow back into design tweaks, feature refinement, or process changes. The difference is that the learning now happens under the real constraints of manufacturing, supply chains, and go-to-market planning. Done well, development sets the foundation for scaling. It's a bridge between validated opportunity and real-world delivery, and it prepares you for the final stage, commercialization. This is where all the upstream work meets the real world of launch, marketing, and distribution. And this is also where a lot of value can be won or lost. Across industries, new product launches account for more than a quarter of total revenue and profit, yet half of them still miss their targets. So what really drives success? We scanned research from top business consulting firms and pulled out 5 defining factors. First, cross-functional alignment. Launches succeed when R&D, marketing, and sales operate as one team. Too often, product development hands over a finished concept and hopes marketing can make it land. Alignment means building the market story, the sales approach, and the operational readiness in parallel with development, not after the fact. Second, disciplined launch planning and tracking. Companies can lose up to 40% of a new product's potential due to weak execution at this stage. Unclear roles, poor communication, and disorganized silos. A good launch is tightly mapped out with milestones, KPIs, and the ability to adjust quickly when signals show the product isn't landing as planned. Third, leadership accountability. When senior leaders are visibly engaged, research shows that launches succeed far more often. Their presence signals that the product matters, that the organization is aligned behind it, and that resources won't vanish at the first setback. Fourth, scale and speed. It's not just about getting to market, it's about reaching critical mass before competitors do. That means mobilizing resources to capture demand quickly, ensuring that infrastructure to scale is in place, and timing the launch for when customers and ecosystems are ready to adopt. And fifth, portfolio focus. Too many product launches compete with zombie projects that should have been killed earlier in the pipeline. On average, about 20% of portfolios are filled with product initiatives that don't warrant continued investment. Freeing up that capacity makes the winning launches more likely to stick. 2 examples show how these drivers play out in practice. Take Nespresso. For many years, Nestlé refused to sell capsules in supermarkets, instead limiting distribution to boutiques, direct mail, and its own club. This disciplined control created premium positioning, locked customers into the ecosystem, and gave Nespresso pricing power that competitors couldn't match. It also showed the power of aligning product development with the full commercialization system. Coffee machines, capsules, and membership all launched in sync. The strategy built loyalty and margins for decades before broader distribution followed. Then there's Labubu. Wait, you don't know about Labubu? Well, this wide-eyed collectible from China's Pop Mart turned into a global craze, fueling a nearly 400% surge in profits in the first half of 2025 alone. The product itself is so simple. Its commercialization tactics are masterful. Blind box packaging, timed scarcity, brand collabs, and community-driven hype make each launch an event. Products sell out in minutes, going for up to $10,000 online, with a booming resale market and even counterfeit market. Pop Mart represents a vivid case of speed, scale, and portfolio focus, pouring energy into a single hero product and turning it into a global cultural phenomenon. Both remind us that commercialization is not just the final step. It's a system of choices about alignment, planning, accountability, scale, and focus that can make or break the impact of even the best ideas, or the cutest, creepiest. You decide. We've now walked through the 6 stages of new product development, but having a process alone isn't enough. You also need a clear strategy for what kind of products you want to develop and how they fit into your overall portfolio. Broadly speaking, there are 4 core strategies that companies use. They can be thought of in terms of the degree of newness in product functionality and scope. This can also help you estimate the level of impact and effort associated with product development. So, imagine a matrix with scope on the x-axis and functionality on the y-axis. In the lower left quadrant is improvement of existing features. This is about refining what you already have, software updates, durability upgrades, or usability tweaks. These incremental steps keep products fresh and maintain customer loyalty without the risk of radical change. The effort required may be lower relative to other strategies, but so too may the potential impact. Then, in the lower right quadrant is new design. This strategy focuses on things like aesthetics, user experience, and ergonomic improvements. Redesigning an existing product can refresh its market appeal amongst new customer segments and existing ones. Redesigning can also differentiate it from competitors. Examples include updated smartphone models or reimagined car interiors that offer better comfort and style. Next, moving diagonally to the upper left, we have new function. Adding a capability to an existing product can open up entirely new use cases. For instance, Lego added coding and robotics to its bricks with Lego Boost, turning static play into programmable creations. Or take Patagonia's Worn Wear program, which layered a resale and repair service onto outdoor gear, giving products the added feature of circularity. This strategy is about shifting the value proposition, maybe from basic to premium or from disposable to sustainable, without replacing the product outright. Finally, the boldest product development strategy is, of course, creating a completely new system, something entirely new to the market, a platform, ecosystem, or disruptive technology that changes the rules of the game. Electric vehicles and smart homes are good examples of how new systems can target unmet needs, position a company as a market leader, and even redefine an industry. This matrix also maps onto the Ansoff Innovation Matrix, which helps you think about the balance between product change and market change. Improvements and redesigns often play in market penetration, increasing share in an existing market. New functions and redesigns can drive product development for existing customers. Adapted products can power market development, entering new customer groups. And entirely new systems usually mean diversification, high risk, high reward. The key takeaway is that a strategy provides direction to your product development process. Without it, even the best stage gate system risks producing a scattered product portfolio. By choosing a strategy, you can prioritize, balance risk, and ensure the right mix of incremental and breakthrough bets. And this is also where tools matter. Modern product development platforms like ITONICS, Innovation OS, help you integrate strategy with process, scouting trends, capturing ideas, plotting roadmaps, managing portfolios, and tracking performance all in one place. That makes it easy to align day-to-day development work with long-term growth goals. So that brings us to the end of this course on the 6 stages of new product development. From opportunity exploration all the way to commercialization, we've seen that success isn't about luck or inspiration alone. It's about structure, iteration, and having a clear strategy. I hope this session gave you practical tools, new insights, and a solid foundation for new product development. If you're interested in putting these 6 stages into practice, book a demo of the ITONICS Innovation OS with one of our experts. And for additional support, check out our other academy courses or explore the resources available at itonics-innovation.com. Until next time, keep learning and keep building.